Hello everyone, this is Under the Covers, and today I have a really special guest. My friend Jin is here, and I'm really excited.
Hello.
Actually, we just met 3 weeks ago.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Like met in person.
met in person.
But we've known each other for maybe
From
2,
online,
3,
yeah.
2 or 3 years now, I think.
But I was first interested because I know you're a tarot reader and a Reiki healer as well. And so that was something that really attracted me to your page, and that was how we started to get talking. But for someone who has no idea what any of those things are, can you tell us a little bit of what it is, maybe?
Okay. So I think maybe let's start with Reiki first, because tarot, I think people probably might have come across it in one way, shape, or form. At least once in your life. I feel like maybe even if you weren't into tarot, you maybe would have seen it already.
Yeah.
But for Reiki particularly, so Reiki, it's a Japanese healing modality, and it really aims to provide balance in all of your chakras. And it's pretty cool because it's actually not just applicable specifically to the chakras. Like, it's not exclusive to the chakras. I can send Reiki to like this glass or this candle or like my dog, So
Really?
yeah, you can do it on objects as well.
What is the point of doing that, though?
Balance.
Interesting.
It's usually balance, or in some points, like it's in some, like as an example, sometimes when my phone is acting up, I do Reiki on it, and then it just works. It just starts to work. So it can be unblocker.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it can be an energy unblocker as well. But again, like the main point of unblocking that energy is so that it can flow in balance. So the entire point of Reiki is to really restore balance on that thing that you're doing Reiki on. That thing, that person, that place, that situation. If something is stuck, let's make it unstuck. And so Reiki, you can apply Reiki on that, and then everything will flow again, and then achieve balance. So that's what Reiki does. And a lot of people actually ask for Reiki when they feel like physically ill, when they're sick and stuff like that. But it can also be for emotional support, emotional balance, like mental support, mental balance, And like I said, sometimes when my phone is acting up, I just do Reiki on it, and then it starts to work again. So yeah, that's for Reiki particularly. Now, for tarot basically is, well, to me, I'll explain it in a way that I explain to my clients, like the first time that they ever encounter tarot. So it's kind of like you have a message, but you don't know how to understand that message. So you go to me to read those messages for you. So that's basically what the tarot is. That's how I explain it. It's the universe's messages for you, just read by someone who can actually read it. Because sometimes messages get lost in translation. Like maybe sometimes if you're not so adept at listening to the universe or like understanding what it wants to say, you kind of need someone to translate that for you.
Okay.
Right? So me being the tarot reader, I can actually understand what the universe is trying to tell you through the cards.
So are you like working in conjunction with something when you are reading the cards, or is it like, how does that work? Is it just your intuition?
Well, it's a mix of both. It's kind of like, first and foremost, for me particularly, my particular approach is via intuition, mostly intuition. So I don't ask for help from other beings, if that makes sense. I don't ask help from like my angels and stuff like that, but I do sometimes. So for me, whenever I have cards, I just lay them down and I understand what they want to tell you. But sometimes there are tarot readers also who ask for help, like they have their guides, they have their spirit guides, they have their angels, like help me to understand what these cards are trying to tell this person and stuff like that. yeah, so it's a different, I guess you could say it's different for each reader. Yeah. So me, I do the intuition, half textbook approach. Because there's also like a standard way of reading the cards.
Oh,
Like
okay.
this card means this card means that. So they have an equivalent. So that's what we call like the textbook reading. But then each person is different. Like your question might be different from my question. And so with every card that's placed, there's also a different meaning, right? There's also a different message.
And
So-
their relationship with one another
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's why I do a half and half approach. But mostly like the first, what do you call it? It's the first cards that I put, it's all just intuition, and I just automatically, like, I just know the messages already in my head, like claircognizance. Yeah.
So I feel like, especially with tarot, even with myself, when I first approached it, there was
Yeah.
a fear towards
Oh.
it, especially of how it's being portrayed in the media, of like how
Yeah.
it feels kind of, I don't want to say evil.
It gets a bad rap.
Yeah, you know how in movies they get all dramatic about it. Like, you have the
Yeah.
death card. You're gonna like
Oh,
something
the
bad
death
is gonna
card.
happen to you. Stuff like that. It feels forbidden.
Oh yeah, like kind of taboo-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about those misconceptions?
Well, first of all, I think it's perfectly fine if people, are afraid of it because it's unknown, right? And people who, I mean, if something isn't familiar to you, of course, that's your first reaction. You'll be scared of it, right? But I also would like to urge people to understand it first before getting so scared of it, because it's not actually evil, I remember, I think I had a conversation with you in the past also, where I said that before I do my tarot readings, I always ask for unconditionally loving protection. And that helps a lot, because like it or not, believe it or not, we do have some bad beings. We do have good beings, and we also have bad beings. And sometimes those bad beings can actually mess with you a little bit. So if you're prone to it, like if you're someone who is like susceptible to those bad beings, then you kind of want that added layer of protection, right? But for people who are afraid of it, I would say, first of all, tarot isn't bad. It's just reading current energies. That's it. That's basically what we're reading with each card. It's the current energy, what's happening right now. If you do this, you might go to this place. If you do this, you might end up here. If you do that, you might end up there. So it's all just current energies that we're seeing. There's nothing bad about it, nothing good about it. It's like a GPS, basically. Treat it like a GPS. You're asking where you are because you want to get to some point, and the tarot cards are telling you you're here and you want to go there. This is what you have to do, or this is the path that you take, So nothing wrong or bad about it, but I do urge tarot readers, if they're watching, and I do urge people who want to get tarot readings to, have that extra layer of protection. Just say that, protect me, ask for unconditionally loving protection always. So yeah, nothing evil about it. It's just energy, all just energy.
So for someone who's looking to get a tarot reading, how do they know they're choosing a good reader that doesn't have anything weird going on?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, that's the tricky part though. 'Cause for the most part, it's actually hit or miss. Like you really have to go through the process. But if you're kind of in tune with your intuition, your intuition will actually tell you, hey, this reader isn't this reader doesn't fit you, or it's not, this reader isn't going to present you with the information that you need to know in order to move forward, right? This can come in the form of let's say, for example, just a really concrete example. Let's say you booked a reading with a reader. And then along the way, you've gotten into so much traffic that you miss your entire like slot altogether. That's actually your intuition and the universe protecting you and saying, hey, this person isn't really going to give you the messages that you want. So don't go. But if everything is smooth sailing, more or less, then you're fine with that. But yeah, for a lot of times, it's really hit or miss. You have to kind of dip your toes into it. Because there's also this thing where you can find a reader, and that reader is good, but maybe that reader doesn't speak the same language as you do. Like, you don't really understand what they're saying, even if they're good.
Interesting.
Right? Like, it's like, they're good, but it's not a fit. Yeah.
Okay. I understand. And I think what you said about reading the current energy is maybe key, because I know oftentimes after things change, that reading may no longer be accurate, right?
Oh yeah, like all the time. Like my classic example for this is, let's say you come to me and you say, I want to be a millionaire, right? So what do I have to do? And so I'll tell you, this is what you need to do. Or let's put it back a little bit. Let's say you come to me and you ask me, will I be a millionaire? And I tell you, no, you're not going to be a millionaire. The cards say that today you're not going to be a millionaire. You will, after hearing that, you will now look for every chance to negate that, to make yourself a millionaire and say like, hey, I became a millionaire, right? So tomorrow your reading might be, oh, now today it's 30% yes, you're going to become a millionaire because you did something about it. You changed your course. So every second is always changing. It's only as valid as the second, I guess. I mean, if we're being really thorough about it, it's only as valid as the second is, because your future is always dependent on what you're going to do next.
And actually going back to Reiki, because I actually don't know a lot about Reiki, even though I've done it, like had received a couple times, but I don't actually understand what's going on. I mean, for me, it just feels super relaxing.
It is.
I fall asleep most of the time. And sometimes I like get this wonderful, like tingly massage.
I love the tingles. The tingles are the best part.
Yeah. Okay, so that's somewhat common.
Yeah, it's really common.
Okay. So, but I don't actually understand what's happening and like how it's being done.
Yeah. So for Reiki, well, for us who are attuned to Reiki, we can actually do it to ourselves. So that's pretty cool. Sometimes I do like Reiki on myself. So I do Reiki on my dog, and then I do Reiki on my appliances when they don't work. But so how it happens is the Reiki practitioner actually acts like a vessel. So the energy, the Reiki energy, the healing energy kind of like goes through our bodies and then forward to the person or the place or the thing or the situation that needs it. That's all. That's our only job as Reiki practitioners. In terms of healing, that's the thing about Reiki too that's kind of confusing about people, because no one can actually really explain what's happening on like a cellular level. But when you've had Reiki, you felt it, right?
Felt
like you said, the tingling.
Yeah,
like something's happening, right? Like something's happening. And for example, for a lot of my clients, when I do Reiki on them, because I ask them afterwards, how was the experience, right? And then they tell me, oh, when you put your hand on me like that. And I said, I never put my hand on you. Like my hand was this far, girl, boy, it was this far from you. And before I touch you, I would ask for permission, right?
Yeah.
So they're always so surprised, like, what? You didn't touch me? No. But why was it hot? It's the Reiki. It's the energy. Like, why was I tingling? It's the Reiki. Why was I seeing colors? It's the Reiki. It's really energy. It's the best way I can akin it to is like current, like electricity. Like we're the plug. We're the plug, and then we are that transformer kind of situation. So the energy goes through us, and then we kind of make it available to you as the practitioner. Yeah. So it kind of works like that. It's all about energy also.
And the source, you would say, is
Yeah.
just from the source.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
God.
you can call it woo-woo, you can call it, call it what you want, but it is just the source. It is the all-encompassing source, the all-encompassing energy that runs through every single thing, living, non-living, in this world.
Do you feel like that competes with like big religions like Christianity, or I know Catholic is huge here?
Yes.
Do you feel like there's competition or like conflict?
I feel like there's more of conflict, but surprisingly enough, I have met a couple of priests who do Reiki. Like they are attuned Reiki healers, and they mix that with their faith. So sadly, it is conflicting here in the Philippines, but it shouldn't be. Like it shouldn't conflict with religion. Actually, even tarot, it shouldn't conflict with your religion, because it's just like I can ask for messages from your angel. Actually, in terms of spirituality, they're all in the same realm. Your religion is in spirituality, right? And all of these practices are also within the realm of spirituality. If something is conflicting, then that means that that's not like innately good, right? I mean, I know it's really what do you call this? It's very black and white, like good and bad. They're black and white, right? But you'll know it inside your heart, inside your soul, if something is really like against the principles of what your own principles, basically. So, well, particularly for me, I'm speaking from my own experience. I have never had a fight or a conflict or like anything in opposition in terms of practicing my religion, because I'm a Catholic. I'm a practicing Catholic. My religion has never been a conflict with how I practice Reiki, how I practice tarot, and my tarot and my Reiki has never been in conflict with how I practice my religion. It all leads to the same thing. Like it's all about your love for yourself. It's all about your love for other people. It's all about not hurting anyone, or anything or any situation. It's not about creating drama. It's not about creating stress. It's not about negativity. It all leads to the same thing. And that's, in one word, it's just love. It's love for yourself and love for others and love for the entire situation that you're experiencing. And if one of those things goes against that love, then that's where your problem lies. And more often than not, like, this is probably the unpopular opinion, more often than not, the problem isn't really about the religion or about the practice. It's about your own beliefs or how you understand and practice those two things. Because neither one will tell you to hurt anyone else. Neither one will tell you to harm anything, right? They're all about love. And yeah, it should go hand in hand. So yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, thank you.
You're
because
welcome.
I mean, I grew up in, you already know, I grew up in a super Christian family, so all of this would be super scary to my family, and they would be very, very concerned about me going to hell for even experimenting or dabbling in any of these other practices. But I think we just need more curiosity and more willingness to learn and be open to different ideas that you may not have grown up with or been exposed to. But yeah, that was really beautifully put.
You know what's interesting? I actually learned how to talk, like not actual talk like this kind of conversation, but I actually was able to learn how to talk and like feel it out and get intuitive with my angels through tarot and Reiki in a way that my religion actually has never taught me. Because, well, for one thing, it's when it comes to tarot and Reiki, it's all about feeling it, right? It's all about feeling the energy. And I think that was one thing that really made it so much easier for me to understand that, oh, my angels are actually talking to me if I just listened, if I just felt it, if I just paid attention to the energy rather than signs, rather than like, what do you call this? Rather than like a lecture, because like in school here in the Philippines, we have religion classes, right? So rather than lectures at school, I was actually able to understand what my angels were telling me, how they were guiding me through my energy work. So that was kind of, I never expected that. That was pretty cool. And I hope that people like realize that this can happen for them as well. They can actually be more religious if they went into different aspects of spirituality as well.
And I think what's really interesting, especially about here in Southeast Asia and Philippines, is that you also already have a very rich culture and history of all these spirits and gods and goddesses. So because I'm an outsider, so I'm also really curious as to how that fits into like the predominantly Catholic culture here. Is there any awkwardness there, or is it pretty harmonized at this point?
Well, I think, right now, like the Philippines is a Catholic country, like we can say that, predominantly at least, predominantly a Catholic country, right? We have some of our fellow men are Muslims, right? Like it's those are the two main religions here in the Philippines present. But the spirituality of our ancestors, like the gods and goddesses of the earth, are sadly forgotten. Like we don't.
Oh, really?
I have not heard of anyone practicing that kind of religion or that kind of spirituality in this day and age. I'm trying to think if I have. No, I haven't.
Do you feel like they're believed in though?
I think yes. Like I know that it's weird because a lot of people believe in aswang, which are the ghosts, right? They're ghosts in ghosts in beings here in the Philippines, and we have a lot of them, like a lot of them. But it's so funny that people believe in them more and have forgotten about the old gods and goddesses of like the earth, of the rice, of the rain, of destruction here. There are plenty of gods and goddesses like in the Philippines practiced by our ancestors.
Maybe that's also why spirituality gets a bad rep. People remember the bad spirits more than the good ones, maybe.
That's true. And it's a psychological thing too. Like people are naturally drawn to what is negative. That's why the news will always portray the negative, because people will listen to it. That's what instills, like that's what is instilled in our minds, right? But if we always heard the positive, like for some reason, I don't know why, like I haven't read that much into it, but for some reason the positive isn't that much memorable for people. It's always the negative that people will remember. So I guess it's easier to remember the negative things.
Right, pulls at your emotions.
Yeah.
But I'm curious as to how you even got into all of this in the first place. Was there like a spiritual awakening that you had, or?
Well, how I got into spirituality in general might make you cry.
Oh no!
Because it was about my dog. I had a dog.
No.
I know. So this is the part where you get your tissues. And your drink if you want, plastic bag if you need, like if you hyperventilate. Get everything, get ready. So I had a dog. His name was Sid. He was a princess type Shih Tzu, meaning he was really small like this. And he was 13 years old. Well, at the time he was just 12. It was nearing his birthday. And one of the people in the house accidentally stepped on him, like on his back. And of course, we heard a cry, and he was just crying, and we took him to the vet, and the vet said, he needs to be put to sleep, and you need to make a decision. And
what? Just from that?
Yeah, because apparently he was, like, if we did surgery on him, he wouldn't survive. So he was too old, basically. Like, he was really old. He was 12 years old. That's pretty old for a dog. So I sat there that night and I was crying and I cried the whole night and I was asking, what do you want? What do you want? Like, do you want me to put you to sleep? Or because it's okay if you're tired, like we can do this, it's fine. But like I said, I couldn't make a decision. And so I told myself, I need someone who can tell me black and white that this is what Sid wants. And I started searching and searching and searching. And then that's when I found my mentor. And so I went to her and I told her outright, so this is the situation of my dog, and this is what I want to consult, like, off the bat. And what she told me, like, the only thing she told me about that, because we talked about a lot of things, but apparently that was just a really small part of it. What she told me about that was, you already know the answer. You don't need to ask me. You already know the answer. And then I was like, do I? And then when I went home that day, I felt it and I was like, I do know the answer. I understand. And so I didn't put him to sleep. He, what do you call this? He reached his 13th birthday, and like a couple days after his 13th birthday, that's when he passed on. And then after he passed on, I went to my mentor again, and then I think I told you about this, that I asked my mentor, so is he all right? Is my dog at peace? And she was like, yeah. Did you know he's British? And that he has a sense of humor? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, yeah, he's British. And apparently, in his former life, he was a really good person, and he was given the option to be reincarnated as a dog to be with you and guide you, or to be an angel, and he chose you. And I was like,
that part makes me want to cry.
I was like, why would you do this to me? But apparently, yes. So my dog, it's all about my dog. That started it all. After that, everything just opened. Like the claircognizance opened, the intuition opened, and I went fully down into the rabbit hole.
What were you looking for when you were looking for your mentor? Like animal communicator or just psychic?
I forget, but I think I was just looking for like spiritualist, like in general.
Interesting.
Yeah, spiritualist. And it's so difficult to find that here in the Philippines. Like there are not a lot of them, like legitimate spiritualists.
What is that? Just someone who's spiritual?
I guess.
Okay.
Because I consider myself a light worker, not really a spiritualist. So I'm not really sure how spiritualists consider themselves as. But yeah, I think that was the term that I used. Just a really blanket, like general term. And then that's how I ended up there with my mentor.
That was the path for you, clearly.
Yeah. Like
it was meant to be.
Apparently that was his purpose. Because he, like, I said, like, he was a good boy, like, he was my dog. I loved him so much. But I don't know, in terms of guidance, I'm not sure if he gave me guidance. But then it was at that moment that he said, that my mentor said that, I mean, you're here now, right? Like, you found me. Your claircognizance opened because of him. That was his purpose. That was his guidance for you. He had to do it for you to realize that this was you all along. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's a story.
What is a story that I laughed so hard? I remember the first time you told me that he was British.
Because like I didn't need to know he was British, but thank you. Like that was cute. That was really cute.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated that, and that he had a sense of humor, and he was good looking. Apparently, I'm like, okay, he was a good looking dog. I mean,
so funny.
Yeah. Love you, Sid.
Oh
wait, I just realized something. I named him Sid because of the Sex Pistols.
Oh.
So he is British.
That was not very
He is British.
You knew somewhere.
I
You've
guess.
always been intuitive.
Yeah. He just really like opened it wide. Like they opened the gate so wide for me. But yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That
was a really cute story. Yeah. Thank you.
I know. Thank you, Sid.
It's heartwarming.
The gift that keeps on giving.
When it comes to your intuition and you've been on this journey and maybe like growing it and understanding it more, do you feel like as you get more comfortable with it, you also get more comfortable with like yourself in general, or like when it comes to like how you feel in your body.
Yes, most definitely yes. It was in this practice, like in the practice of tarot and Reiki, that I realized that people just really have their own paths to take, and these paths take on so many shapes and forms. And in the same way, like it translates to your body as well. Like especially with Reiki, because a lot of people come to me for physical ailments. You know, like some of them, they have like some of them want to get rid of smoking, you know, like a lot of people want to quit smoking. A lot of people want, like they're unhappy with certain parts of their body. They're unhappy with how they're feeling, you know. And so like it was in this world, I'll just call it world or realm. It was in this realm that I got to truly appreciate that everyone really is on their own path, and everyone really does have their own body, you know. I mean, and that you really have to respect it. You have to listen to it, and you have to appreciate it, because if not, you know, it's gonna turn on you. Like, it's just, that's the way it is. If you don't love your body, it's not gonna love you back. that's the whole, like it's an all-encompassing bit of advice. If you don't love your body, it's not gonna love you back. So you have to treat it like you love it and fall in love with it. You know, like in the process, there's no, I mean, there are no perfect bodies, I guess. I guess though, for everyone, they have a concept of what they want to look like perfectly, right? Or how they want to feel like perfectly. But it's very rare that that happens, because for the next, once you reach that, you're going to have a next idea of what you want to be, or what you want to feel like, what you want to look like, right? So you'll never be able to reach that. So love it as it is. Yeah. And it's going to be perfect, like, swear.
How do you think that, I mean, you kind of touched on it already, but the self-love and the growing in spirituality, how do you think that connects?
Together, like all together?
Yeah, like how, I mean, I feel like they kind of go hand in hand, where, at least for me, like the more I figure out how to give back time to myself and like actually listen to what it is that I need and want.
Like tomato juice.
Yes, like tomato juice. The more I feel, I don't know how to put it, like just more into, but I think that being more in tune with myself also makes me feel more intuitive.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's like, for example, one person is not, how do I say this? It's like your mind isn't an island, your body isn't an island. They all work together. Right? Like it's one entire system. That's all of you working together. So on the very surface level, like this is the most concrete example. If you give yourself enough sleep, you'll feel better the next day. And that's a practice of self-love, right? If you love yourself enough to realize that you need to rest, or that you can rest without feeling guilty about it, then that'll make your body feel better. You'll respond in a better way, right? You'll be recharged for the next day, right? Some deeper examples are people who are emotionally baggaged, right? If you feel that, let's say, for example, you are too depressed, but then you realize that, oh, I need to reach out to people in order to make it less depressing, you know, you realize that you have, like, that comes from a place of self-love as well. And then it gets translated into action, which then gets translated into a physical thing. So it's all like interconnected. You can't not do something and not expect a ripple effect through all of your bodies, because you have different bodies. You have a physical body, you have an emotional body, you have a spiritual body, you have a mental body, and they're all affected by what you do. They're all affected by your self-love, because your self-love will actually be the starting point. Like, do I love myself enough to do this? Do I love myself enough to sleep early and actually wake up really recharged the next day? I think I do, so I'm gonna sleep. So So it's simple things, right?
Yeah.
Simple energetic things, but they
add
wonders.
up, and then they can also help you continue to grow
Yeah.
in a spiritual sense, even those like practical everyday things that you do.
Yeah.
I think that's like probably the easiest.
Yeah, that's the
thing.
easiest. Like if you're wanting to get in, if you want to be more spiritual and are wondering what the benefits are, like that's one great benefit. You actually get to be more aware of yourself. And you get to like explore that part of self-love. People, I mean, self-love is loosely used.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm happy that people are realizing what self-love is, right? Because it helps you. It really does.
You say that's like the best, most accessible way to grow your intuition?
I would say that one is, there's no one way to approach it. Like for me, I had to approach it from my dog, from the point of view of my dog, right? Some people unfortunately get to it through tragedy or through like emotional problems, you know, but wherever it finds you, I would say just continue to go with it. When your intuition finds you at the place where it's supposed to find you, I mean, not that it's fate, but when you're ready rather to receive it, then just go with it, because you can come to it at any point in time. You know, it's different for everyone, and everyone has intuition, right? Like, especially here in the Philippines, we love to say that your third eye is open. Guess what? Everyone has a third eye. Everyone can see spirits, but it's up to you if you want to do that. I do not. So I keep that I keep the visual closed.
Yeah, there's surprisingly a lot of people here who can see spirits and stuff. I've never met so many people in my life.
Right?
Like after coming here.
I'm so glad I'm not one of them.
Actually, I don't want to see anything.
I don't want to see anything. I always tell I tell my ancestors, I pray to them. I pray to my grandfather. I tell him, I miss you so much, Lolo, but I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. Don't whisper anything. None of that stuff. Don't whisper to me. You can come to me in my dream.
Also, I feel like a lot of it is just not very pretty, so I don't
No.
really
I see that. I wouldn't want that. So claircognizance is fine. You can like put stuff in my mind and I'll be able to understand it. You can visit me in a dream anytime. It's fine. It's free. It's fine, but no visuals, no like brushing up against me.
So funny, you.
No whispers. That's the deal.
But I brought up the intuition thing a lot because that's something I really want to grow, because that's where your power is, you know? And then you can get into fun things like manifest the things that you want.
Yeah.
Something that I mean, who doesn't want that?
I know.
So that's why I brought it up, because it's where your power lies.
Your intuition will really tell you. Again, it's kind of like your GPS. It'll tell you where you are at a certain point in time. And then if you continue asking it, like, let's say, for example, I want to go here. How do I get here? Your intuition will actually answer. Your intuition is kind of like the gateway for all of these good spirits telling you what to do next, where to go next, in order for you to get to what you want, to where you want. But it's the same thing with manifesting. So just to debunk a myth also, because some people think that manifesting is just for specific people. No, it's for everyone. From the moment you're born up until we pass on to the next plane, you're always manifesting, even in your sleep. Even if you don't want to, it's not something you can turn off. It's always on all the time. So whatever goes into your subconscious, whatever goes into your mind is what you'll be manifesting every day. So everything is manifested. Like this point in time was a manifestation by you wanting to grow a ruby arrow, right?
Yeah.
So your intuition will lead you to the places that you want to be. It's really like your GPS. That's really, if it's one thing that you can take from the conversation, your intuition is your GPS. Even negative things are your GPS. It's kind of like, I hit this roadblock. I don't want to be here. So I know where I am now. I'm not on that path. Thanks for showing me. I'll go here.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
And when it comes to like sensuality, how does spirituality have a play in that?
Well, for the sensuality part, I find that a lot of people, especially after Reiki, I'm actually even tarot, a lot of people, again, are more aware of themselves and more aware of what they want and are actually more empowered. So if in the past they were, let's say, for example, too shy to admit that they want this, or they're too, like, they feel that it's too taboo, you know, after a session, after a Reiki session or after a tarot reading session, at least in my experience, right? They tell me that they're more open to talking about it, like even to themselves. So they're more open to admitting it to themselves, like, oh, this is how I want to feel, or this is what I want to do, you know, or I actually have the courage to admit this, or admit that, or say this, say that, do this, do that. And I think like your intuition and your self-awareness, all of it together, like all of that energy, all that good, loving energy is really a good thing in terms of like vouching for sensuality. It really gives you the courage, basically, and it empowers you so much. Like, why do you need to hide?
Yeah.
Right? What I mean, well, for the cards, you can't hide anything from me. I can see them all. So there's nothing to hide anyway. But from yourself, you need to know that if I can talk to you about this, you can talk to yourself about this as well. Like you can be sensual and not be guilty of it, because that's just self-love. You know, there's nothing wrong about it. Being sensual is just, it fits right up the alley of self-love.
Yeah.
And nature. So like, if you need another reason, it's also nature.
So true. And I also ask because I feel like a lot of people don't see that there is a very spiritual side actually to sexuality.
Oh yeah.
So we can maybe talk about that next time. I feel like it's a whole other
nugget
subject, because then you can get to like tantra.
Yeah.
And that's something else that's completely different, right?
Yes.
I only know a tiny bit.
Yeah. It's a whole other world in itself.
But I did want to ask, how do you think your spiritual work has affected how you approach love and relationships, or even like setting your boundaries?
Well, for me particularly, so I'll just talk about my experiences. Definitely the self-awareness was one thing. I have gone through a slew of relationships, although it's not a lot, but like, because I tend to keep boyfriends for longer periods of time. You know, there are some people who enjoy the short period.
Yeah.
I enjoy longer periods of time. So for me particularly, it was a very eventful process of figuring out my worth in these relationships rather. In the beginning, of course, I felt that I wasn't enough. You know, I mean, I think this is a theme that's very common, especially for women, you know. Like, I see it more often in women. Like, we question the worthiness, our worthiness.
Yeah.
And then we tend to see, like, we tend to be the people who are always, like, just following the lead of the other person, right?
Yeah.
And for me, that was the case. So I always felt myself as, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not pretty enough, you know, or maybe I'm not thin enough, you know. Basically just not enough, the not enoughness. But over time, and especially once that gate opened, you know, thanks, Sid. Once that spiritual gate opened, I started to question, like, do I really feel that I'm not enough? I don't think so. Because in the first place, I have him. I mean, I was able to get him. So maybe at that time that I was able to manifest him, I felt worthy enough that I had this, that I can have this person, you know? And over time, like, that just became fortified and fortified and fortified. So in terms of spirituality, the more self-aware I was, the more I discovered all of my worthiness, and the more that like my relationships just got better and better. Because I had recurring themes too in my relationships. Like the same thing would happen, but with different boyfriends.
Yeah.
And the only common factor there was me. Like, let's be honest, like the men were different, but like I was the only common factor. So it's my problem. It's really my problem.
Yeah.
It was my energy and my non-belief in myself, right? So once I realized that with my self-awareness, it was like, yeah, oh my God, the problem is me. So it was like, but what's the problem? Like, what's happening to me? It was all about the worth.
I could relate to that so much.
The
Why
worthiness.
is it so common? I think it's more common in women in particular.
I think so, yes. I'm not really sure the origin.
Yeah.
Like why that is. Because it's common it's common across the board. Like you and I are from different races, but we've experienced that kind of thing, right? That a recurring theme of unworthiness.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure why that is.
Like always feeling like it's your fault, at least on my end.
Yeah.
Or in the past, I would always mold myself to what I think they would want.
Yeah.
And I also feel like that's also super common as well.
Yes, that's super common also. Like
so sad.
A lot of people, like I think maybe I can say this, but a lot of people come to me for that, for tarot.
Really?
Yeah,
for relationships.
Yeah, tarot readings. Yeah, for relationships. But yeah, the self-awareness, the more you get into it, the better, like you'll really get to know yourself. And then it'll come to a point where you'll realize, hey, I kind of don't want this anymore. And you can safely leave or safely stay, depending on you, right?
Yeah.
And respect yourself, rather. Respect yourself that way.
And figuring out what is it that makes you keep repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
Breaking the pattern.
Yeah. Because again, it's not them. It's you. Or rather, it was me.
Them.
I will blame the actions, but the energy, I'll take credit for the energy. But the actions...
But it's actually really hard to figure out what your pattern, maybe not what your patterns are, but what the root of it is.
Yeah. It's not something you can do in a day or in a sitting. Well, if you're lucky, maybe, but like this includes a lot of self-reflection. And again, a lot of spiritual practices come to that, like self-reflection in terms of meditation. If you're religious, self-reflection in terms of prayer, right? Their quiet time.
Yeah.
But you need to kind of be in that zone of self energy in order to realize what it is. Because some of it is really deeply rooted, right? Some of it just happened and then, like recently, some of it deeply rooted, some of them just recent, but you'll never know unless you take that time out, unless you again dive into that spiritual realm and have your me time. Right.
I think that's so important to point out because a lot of people I think are afraid to be alone or even by themselves even in short periods of time. So they don't do that at all and they don't take that time and space to actually figure things out.
I know.
How do you call it? To digest the world and like their experiences.
Yeah.
So
I actually have a funny story. It just reminded me of a funny story. I know someone. He's not that old. Like just probably approaching his 50s. So not old. Yeah, not old. But he's really funny. He's such a great person. He's an amazing person. And then my friends and I were all talking, and we asked him, "Why didn't you get married? After all this time?" And then he looks at us point blank and says, "And share my wealth? No." So, I mean, of course it was really funny to us, but to me also that made very good sense rather. You don't really need to share yourself if you don't want to, but again, you'll never reach that point if you don't be with yourself. You'll never realize that if you're not with yourself. This person was completely happy having all that money to himself
Yeah.
and living a perfect life. He even said, you know, if I share my wealth, then I wouldn't be able to travel to like Thailand tomorrow if I wanted. I'd have to think about my partner too. No. So I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds petty, but it's what makes him happy. And he knew what made him happy all
Yeah.
by himself because he's comfortable
Yeah.
with himself, you know? So after that, I strive for that kind of happiness, like that degree of happiness.
Yeah.
Like, you know yourself so much that you know what makes you happy, you know what makes you calm, you know what makes you like just really positive
Yeah.
all around.
You're a sanctuary. You should spend
Yeah.
time in it.
Exactly. Like your own
Yeah.
sanctuary.
Do you have any advice or like guidance for anyone, wherever they are spiritual in their journey? Do you have any sort of guiding words for them?
I would say go for it, you know. Well, one thing very important, and I think I told you this in the past too. Very important. First of all, learn how to protect yourself in sensuality and in spirituality. So protection is always the best, right? Like I think you would agree.
Yeah.
Protection is always the best thing. If you're looking for a quick way to protect yourself energetically, just always say, I ask for the unconditionally loving beings to protect me at all times. And that phrase, unconditionally loving, is the key portion in it. Like, that's a non-negotiable. Sorry, I'm a chef. Non-negotiable, the bear. so that's a non-negotiable. So always the phrase unconditionally loving being. So always protect yourself at all times because you will be susceptible to a lot of energies. You might find yourself going to the mall and realizing that it's too overwhelming because once, like especially if you're an empath, you'll get to feel all of those things. You'll get to feel people who are scared to buy things, people who want to buy things, people who are really hungry, people who have just like broken up, you know, you'll feel all of that. So good, first things first, protection. Always protect your energy. Second thing, go for it. And you can go at it at a slow pace. Like go at it at your own pace. You don't have to rush it. Nothing's rushing you, you know? You can go at it, discover one piece of the puzzle at a time. Because there are also different ways to express spirituality, right? Like I think we talked about dowsing in the past, right? So I also douse. So there can be dowsing, there can be like, again, tarot, Reiki. There are like theta healing. There are so many modalities to choose from. And you can just dip your toes in and figure out if that's good for you or if that's a fit for you at that moment at your own pace. You don't need to rush it. Because from my experience, like for me, I dabbled into a lot of it and I found that these were the ones that work really well. Spirituality isn't something I would say that is best done like as a jack of all trades. It's more of a speciality type thing. Yeah. Like it's a mastery type of thing. So discover at your own pace, go at your own pace, and then once you find that, just narrow down on it. Because your energy is going to be everywhere. Like imagine spreading yourself too thin. That's just not going to work. You're going to be like too tired from it, you know. And then third, I mean, enjoy it. It's the reason why I keep doing this because it's been a long time now. Like professionally, I've been reading for 7 years now, going on 8, and Reiki as well. I wouldn't have done it this long if I didn't enjoy it. Like this sounds so self-righteous, but I like helping people. Like this is one of the ways that I feel that I'm able to help people. So I like that. I like that I'm able to give back like that. I like that I'm able to care for people in that way and share my energy in that way. But it can be very tiring. Like for example, if I've had a 1-hour reading with a tarot reader, I can eat a buffet. Like I can go to a huge buffet and eat at every counter because it's that tiring. Like your energy will literally sap out of you. It's just like your phone. Imagine using your phone for an hour straight. You lose battery, right? Same thing with us for light workers. The battery drains a lot. So you have to, like, you really have to enjoy it in order to do it. So,
and then you just meditate to recharge again.
Yeah. Or I watch like K-dramas.
Or
I listen to BTS. K-pop. Or I play with my dog. Or I cook, you know.
Yeah. Do something that you love.
Yeah, do something that you love to recharge you. Yeah.
And I have a fun question for you. What's something recently that has made you feel magic?
Magic. Well, actually there are several. So I'm spoiled for choice, but let me pick. So recently, I don't know why, but there's a chain of bookstores here that has decided to put some of their books on sale. Like if you buy 2 or 4 or 3, you know, you can get it for this price, like that. And I was just browsing through it, and then I found a couple of books on vegetables. It's so corny. I found a couple of books on vegetables, and so I was like, okay, so this, I mean, it was $299. So I got 2 for $299. It was like a buy one, take one thing. So I got 2 books.
Okay.
And so I was going through them. Right? So I was going through them and I was like, this is amazing. Why aren't people like getting this, you know? But it felt magical to me because, as I mentioned, I'm a chef. So like that's my day job. I'm a chef. So it felt really magical to me because at the time that I bought it, I was ruminating on making an entirely vegetarian menu. Like just for myself, you know, for myself. Like for each day of the week, I want vegetables to be the star because to me, like this is just my opinion, to me, it's so easy to make beef taste good, pork taste good, chicken taste good, but nobody cares about the vegetables. Yeah. But then we also see these Michelin star restaurants who showcase vegetables as the main dish. So don't tell me that vegetables don't taste good. Don't tell me that vegetables can't be the star because they totally can be.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're good for you. And they help you spiritually also. Like, because vegetables come from the ground, they root you. So if you're feeling kind of like woozy in terms of spirituality, eat vegetables, especially root crops, have coffee, things that ground you. So that's a tip. So yeah, I felt that was magical for me. I was like,
but I get it, yeah, because you were planning and thinking and wanting it, and then you got a huge deal out of it. Yeah, I get it. I get that why that was magical.
It was really magical for me. And I mean, I think the magical part was that it was a 2-for-1. So who doesn't love a bargain? I love a bargain. So
that's amazing.
So that was magical for me.
Was it fully booked? Where were you?
I know. I was at National Bookstore. And it was so, like, the book, let me just tell you about the other book. Because I bought 2 books, right? The other book was really sexy too. Like, it was just green and white. When you opened it, the pages were moss green, and then the writing was in white. And then the next page would be in white. And
wait, it's still vegetables?
It's still vegetables. Like, this book was so sexy. I was like, oh my God, good job.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that felt magical to me.
I'm happy for you.
Oh, and okay, so another magical thing, and again, connected to spirituality. One of my cousins who lives in New York, I've been thinking about her for a while now, like this week, like throughout the entire week, because she makes the most amazing cardamom buns. And like, she is the type of person who can get everything done in a day. You know, she's that kind of person. Like, she's the it girl.
Exist.
She's the it woman. Yeah. Because I remember I used to stay at their house when I was there. There were 2 weeks that I stayed at their house, And she would wake up at 3 a.m. Yeah, because her husband would go to work at 3 a.m. She would wake up at 3 a.m. and I would wake up at 8 a.m. By the time I went downstairs, lunch was already there. Breakfast was already there. She had baked like 2 cakes, chocolate cakes.
Oh my God.
And she was having a meeting, like a Skype meeting, while she was pruning her plants. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I was thinking about her this entire week, so I missed her. And so I messaged her. I told her, Ate, I was thinking about you this week. I hope everything's all right. Like, I miss you guys. I miss our conversations, etc. And then she messaged me back and she said, oh, I miss you too. I've been wanting to message you. I've been thinking about you this past month. And I was like, oh, snap. It's the energy. I felt it. It was like, you thought about me, so the signal reached me. The signal reached me.
That actually happens quite often, though. I'd be thinking of someone and they'd message me. It's quite odd.
Well, all about the energy. It was like, I was so, like, I don't know, I was so happy. It was such a happy moment. And I was like, yes, manifestations.
Interesting.
Energy. Okay. So yeah, that was really cool. That was really cute and cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's magic for sure.
So yeah, those 2 things are at the top of my list.
I need her secrets. How does she do it?
I know. I
I'm
need her
still trying to
secrets.
sleep by 11 at the latest.
Amazing. Like, amazing. And just a little bit about her. Like, so I was there, right? There were times when she would have her meeting. She'd finish it by, like, let's say 10 o'clock. And she would say, oh, I need to go to the grocery. We can go to the grocery maybe an hour. And it would be an hour. It wouldn't be an hour and a half. Like, navigating New York, going to the grocery, and then coming back in time to eat for her next, in time to eat and be ready for her next meeting.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I feel like that would stress me out, but that's amazing for her.
Super. I was like, how do you do it? And she was like, okay. Energy. That energy is flawless.
Learn so much. And last but not least, where can they find you if they want to book a session with you or get in contact?
Okay, so you can find me on @SimpleSpiritualityPH on Instagram. I have a Facebook too, but I reply more on Instagram. I'll be very honest. I reply mostly on Instagram. So it's @SimpleSpiritualityPH.
Yay, perfect.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much. So happy that you're here.
We need to
Super
do this
grateful that I'm going to book a session as well.
Go ahead.
All the sessions.
all the
No, I really want a tarot reading.
Okay.
Side note, but yeah, thank you again
Yes.
so much. And,
Thank you too. This was so much fun. We should do it again.
Yeah.
For the
If you want to talk about Tantra.
the Tantra session. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Well, sign off. Good night. Bye. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.